So she stays there for hours and hours, detained at the airport because she refuses to have her breast milk x-rayed. And joining me exclusively tonight from Phoenix, Stacey Armato, the outraged mother detained by TSA. Stacey, thank you so much for being with us. Number one, it's hard as HELL traveling with children because it's like you're crossing the Sahara with camels. You got so much to carry. And now this. Here you see Stacey talking to a so-called official. Stacey, what happened?
That day I arrived with my pumped breast milk. I arrived at security like I did every week. I announced my milk and asked for an alternate screening. I was told immediately that it would probably have to go through x-ray. I knew that I had printed out the rules, so I walked through the metal detector, tried to grab my rules, and I was immediately ushered into the glass container and told to stay there.
Now, wait a minute. I think, is that what you've got in your hands in the video? Keep the video up, please. And let me see Stacey. Stacey, is that your rules? You've got a little white piece of paper in your hands?
Yes. Yes.
Then what happened?
My hand was swatted away. I was told not to touch it, and I was forced to go into that glass enclosure area.
Okay, why did they want to x-ray your breast milk?
I think it's habit, and it's easier. It takes about 2 minutes longer to do an alternate screening, so it may be that frustration.
What are the rules? What's supposed to happen?
The rules are that breast milk is classified as a medical liquid, and you can be afforded an alternate screening as long as it's announced before the x-ray machine.
At what point did the exchange between you and TSA become heated?
It became heated as soon as they told me it was probably going to have to go through x-ray, and they refused to read the rules. I was put in that glass container for about 30 minutes, and they made me sob. I couldn't help myself. It was a really degrading, humiliating experience, and I just couldn't stop the crying. So they sent over 3 police officers to threaten to arrest me for doing so.
You were threatened with arrest?
Yes. Yes. I was told that I was crying too much.
And so they were going to arrest you for crying?
Yes.
Okay. What did the police officers say when they got over there?
They told me that the TSA agents had remembered me from the week before, and they basically had it out for me, and I needed to play along with their horse and pony show in order to get home to my son, which I desperately wanted to do.
Where was your son during all this?
My son was at home.
And you were going to your son. How old is your son?
My son right now is 4.5. At the time he was 7 months old, and I was traveling weekly for work. So I pumped when I was in Phoenix, and I would fly home with that milk back to Los Angeles.
Now, can I ask you something, Stacey? And I've been wondering about this. Now I've got you. You said the cops told you to play along with TSA because they had it out for you. Why did they have it out for you?
The week before, I had traveled, and I was held up for about 40 minutes. These particular TSA agents were there the week before and had no clue what the alternate screening rule was. They researched it, they tried to figure it out, they called supervisors and managers, and finally let me go after 40 minutes, reluctantly. I then filed a complaint with TSA and was instructed to print out and carry the rules with me on my future travels.
Do you believe these same TSA workers are there at the Phoenix airport?
I'm not sure about that. I haven't seen them recently, so.
Everyone, Stacey Armato, outraged mother detained by TSA. Can I tell you what about the incident made you break down in tears?
Just knowing that they had my milk and I was being forced to make a decision to throw away my milk or send it through the x-ray machine. It's just a horrendous feeling as a mom, knowing that my milk will either go through the x-ray machine or this precious milk would be thrown in the trash. It's just not it's not logical and not a situation I wanted to be in at all. It was a very terrifying situation.